Pitt, huh?
Don't even start. You outnumbered here, buddy. Don't even start. You don't want that discourse.
I'm leave it alone. Leave it alone.
We can talk about the recording conversation.
I'm gonna leave it.
We'll leave it.
Here it's gonna be a very good episode, as you can already tell. Talking about UCLA a little bit, and most directly about their quarterbacks. And seeing if Caleb Williams or DTR could potentially be the next QB for the Rams. The Rams are in a difficult position right now, as they look like they're potentially rebuilding right now, as they're clearing house most of their top talent, and starting to acquire some more draft picks and things. So they're trying to make their moves into their next era. Potentially, we're seeing if, as you see on the question going across the bottom, if the next QB for this team may already be here in LA. So fun things here, talking about the draft a little bit, talking about the Rams and their offseason moves and all of that. I'm glad to be back. You guys just watched our discussion about the NCAA tournament and trash talking all of that with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and beyond. I'm glad y'all enjoyed that, and glad to be here yet again for some great discussion about the NFL. So episode 2 now, so I'll skip the intro and we'll jump straight into it. Jake, what do you think about the Rams offseason so far, and their potential rebuild that we're heading into at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's clear, the Rams, their plan, right, has always been, all right, we're here in LA. There is a lot going on in this town.
Mm-hmm.
This is not just like, I take it to, I got family in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The town shuts down for Cornhuskers football. It doesn't matter.
Cornhuskers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they got 3 wins to end the season or if they're undefeated. They're there. That's all they got.
Yeah.
In LA, if it's October and the Rams aren't good, the Dodgers might be making a playoff push. The Lakers,
we hope.
The Lakers are starting a season. You got Kings hockey. You got 2 college football teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
every major sport's got 2 teams in LA, at least.
Lakers don't start strong, so we'll skip them. But everybody else.
But you get what I'm saying, though, right? So they knew exactly, as an organization, they moved to this town. It ticks a little different, right?
Correct.
You can call it fair weather. I call it having options. So if I don't have to watch the Rams, I could watch something else. It doesn't make me not a Rams fan. It means I got a whole lot of other teams to root for too.
Yeah.
And there's only so much time in the day.
Yeah.
So
gotta earn my attention.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so they knew this is a critical moment where they have to capture the hearts and minds of young fans who can be the season ticket holders that are going to help them prevent teams that have been like the 49ers in one market, aside from moving to Santa Clara, in one market for a long time with Super Bowl pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a whole generation of people who grew up without a football team here, who it might not be so easy for them to just adopt a hometown team. They got teams they started rooting for because they played Madden. They got teams they started rooting for because they got Sunday ticket. They got teams they started rooting for because they had a fantasy football team.
Yep.
They got teams they started rooting for because they played Pop Warner football and the logo on their helmet was a certain logo,
Yep.
Again, quick note, Bubba, we're waiting on you still. We need that punishment still.
Oh, dude who got last place in our league.
Yeah, sorry, keep that in there. Go ahead.
But yeah, so that's exactly what the Rams knew they were doing. So they said, okay, aggressive, Super Bowl, get it by any means. They got it. So now what? You got it. You have a less than ideal season. You knew that for any team, the key to winning a Super Bowl starts with health. Health is wealth.
Absolutely.
Rams started, the first 12 games.
It was breaking down.
It's different. It was a whole 3-card Monty shuffling hats of offensive linemen, total musical chairs. There's no way to win football games like that, especially not when there's other good teams in this league.
And the quarterback with a messed up shoulder to start the season too.
You can't win like that. So they started to lose, and then now you go, okay, we reflect. We realize that over the past 5 years, we set the tone, and other teams have started to mirror some of the decision-making they've made. And we got teams like the Niners being aggressive, go get McCaffrey. You got the Dolphins with the young coach starting to make those splashy trades, right? And teams are trying to maximize on that window to go chase that Lombardi that only one team out of 32 can get.
Eagles, AJ Brown.
Yeah, a lot of teams are starting to do that. And the Rams, what they realized was they had the capital, they had the cash with Stan Kroenke to make these moves. And the salary cap is a real thing. You
Mhm.
can work around some ways with bonus money and allocating accordingly. But essentially what happens with the Rams is teams are starting to do the same thing they do. So when other teams zig too, you got to figure out a way to zag. And so now it's all right, come back to the drawing board. Matthew Stafford has some dead cap money. So he's still your quarterback, but is it time to go to the future? And I think that's where the conversation about, is it time to get a quarterback now, or is it this draft? Is it the next draft? Is it a free agency? It's an interesting conversation to be had, but it all starts with who's still on the team. I see Cooper Kupp still there. I see Aaron Donald still there. Matthew Stafford's still there. And there's still some competitors on the team. So I don't think the Rams are going to try to tank. So do I see them going, okay, there was a bad year last year. We're going to Ramsey's gone, Leonard Floyd's gone, all these pieces are gone. We're just going to just pack it in with those guys, knowing Aaron Donald doesn't have that much time left. I don't see it. So, and I see a lot of teams thinking that this Caleb Williams kid, hey, I'm a UCLA fan. Alex a UCLA fan. Well, we got eyes.
Though. Y'all know the
we
truth.
got eyes.
Hey, we never said Caleb Williams wasn't good. Come on now.
Nobody said that. Again, we talk about trash talk. We talk about all these things. You know, the things that he does, some Kyler type stuff mixed with Mahomes. So there's some red flags, and that's a fair conversation to be had. But he's the clear-cut guy.
The only red flag he has is that USC flag he's been over and said when we win games. I don't want to hear that.
I see what you did there, but no. There's some things you can point to for sure.
So he could have been. He's the type of talent that where, like, you look at this year's draft class, I'd go as far as to say I think he still would be the most talented passer, and teams would want to take him number 1 overall this year too.
I think I'd say so.
Let's do a quick deep dive. Bryce Young or Caleb Williams?
It's close.
I
think I would say Caleb, but
Caleb or CJ Stroud?
I mean, the upside for Caleb is he's doing the stuff that you're seeing that Mahomes does. Right. The upside for Stroud is this guy's taking care of the football. He's on time with his throws, and he's not getting you in trouble trying to just be a little stubborn with the ball.
And he's got more of the size too.
Yeah, he does have more of the size because Caleb is a guy who he's not the biggest guy.
Right.
But I still think Caleb is the number 1 overall guy. And I just think that for the Rams, maybe not, though, for next year, as much as anybody would probably want to have that kid. I don't think he fits their plan. And I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be worse than them and have a chance and more capital to move up to get that number 1 overall pick.
Got it. He may not fit their plan, but he's one of those guys that I think you should slightly adjust the plan for. The same thing we're kind of having discussions about Lamar Jackson and, he doesn't fit the system. Change the system then. He really is a top talent that works and can put up wins. I think the same thing with Caleb Williams here. And if this team is in position where they do have the top talent in regards to Kupp and Aaron Donald still, but that offense is not clicking again as we saw last year. I think they could do it may not be a full Cleveland tank. We do our own LA tank in that it may not be clear and obvious that we're throwing in the towel. But if we can still put up numbers but lose the game at the end, I think that'll satisfy the folks that want an entertaining product while getting the losses needed to get us better in position in the long run. So I think both things will be possible there. Quick pause, back into it, just essentially saying that, I think Caleb is a guy that could be, we could find a way to get him if the Rams could play their cards right and lose in fashion, I guess you would describe it, losing games, but keeping it close. So at least the fans, to your point about entertainment, still are satisfied at the end of the day. So, we'll see how that could work. I think he'd be a great follow-up to Matt Stafford. We don't know how many years we have left with Stafford. So if it is time to move on and we do go that route, I would love to have Caleb stay here in LA and carry the torch from Stafford on from there. And just excited at what that possibly could be. But on the flip side, if things did have to adjust other ways, there are already options in this draft that could be a possibility. And I don't like saying this, but DTR and guys of that nature are pretty good and could be some peaceful backups for Matt Stafford this year. And could be developmental, developmental for going forward and being good options. What y'all think about DTR potentially being the next guy here in LA?
If I might add,
sure.
Go ahead.
How about the objectivity from all of us here? Big up in Caleb, you get big up in DTR. This is what we're talking about, right? This is what the people are tuned in for. Alec, go ahead.
You gotta love it. I know it pains G in his soul, but you gotta love it. He looks good in blue and gold. The Rams aren't too far off from that color scheme there. I think DTR would be a nice. I don't want to call him project because I think while he is a little bit raw in some aspects of his game, he's showed improvement throughout each season at UCLA and developed into a really dynamic QB.
Still needs some late game work, but you know.
Some of the turnovers, reading the zone a little bit. Sometimes he struggled with at times, but really, really strong, powerful arm, ability to layer the ball over the linebackers. Just his maneuverability in the pocket and getting outside the pocket and making guys miss. I think he's a really electric QB, and I think he has tools that can be refined and make him a good QB in the NFL. But I believe right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he's projected as like a day 2, day 3 guy as a QB. And I think with that being the case, he would be available for the Rams to potentially go after him in later rounds and stash him while Matt Stafford is still on the roster. And I'm not sure, is he going to be healthy for the start of the season?
From what McVay is saying, which again, they're kind of cryptic, but they're saying, I mean, he's already throwing, he's much healthier this time around. And I think that, having him rest, having Kupp rest, having Aaron Donald rest, they're trying to retool and get back at it. So where, I think they'll be out of the Caleb sweepstakes, but the possibility is there of, hey, they still got late round picks. Mm-hmm. A quarterback is there. DTR is a guy who can play straight up. So you seem to be in favor, though. Yes.
I would be in favor of having him behind Stafford there. I don't think Stafford has too much longer as the QB1, while he may have a little bit of juice left in that shoulder. But I think it'll be good for DTR to come in and sit for a year and learn and watch the NFL game, the nuances of the NFL game, and improve where he needs to improve. I think it will be a great spot for him in LA, having played for UCLA, staying in the hometown team. I think that would be a dope opportunity for both parties in the Rams and DTR. And I think Sean McVay too, as a head coach, is a great one to play under for any QB. Like we saw what he was able to do with Jared Goff, Jared Goff, who's not a bad QB, but probably the median of QBs in the league, was able to take the Rams to the Super Bowl with him. So I think Sean McVay and his ability to scheme up an offense, I think would be great for DTR as well. So it will provide a lot of options for Sean McVay with his dual threat ability.
One last thing I'll pass it to you, Jake. Al, we talked a while ago about there's not many more bricks in the NFL at QB anymore, and now Matt Stafford will be one of the last ones, at least the latest version of Matt Stafford.
As far as in the pocket, you mean?
Yeah, staying in the pocket, not moving around a whole lot, mobile, all that. Matt Stafford doesn't move a lot. Well, probably won't be moving around too much anymore. So having guys that are developing behind him that can move around and fit the new modern style of the NFL, as you point out with McVay and his play style that's able to adapt and could fit these new offenses very well. Yeah, I think DTR could be a great project to work on while Matt is still trying his best out there. So we'll see. Jake, what do you think about it all?
Yeah, man. So for me, again, UCLA fan. So of course I would love to have DTR on the team. I think though that the Rams won't rush to get DTR. I think there might be some teams out there that see this kid playing and go, he's just a great backup for what we've already got. And those two teams, to me, Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a kid who
that's a great comp in play styles too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's like you slide him in an offense like that with a dynamic running game, and he's your backup. And say, nobody wants any injuries, but it happens in the NFL. If Jalen were to go down, you bring him in, he plays well, raises his trade value, or you keep him, right? Mm-hmm. But that's something you got in your back pocket. You can send him somewhere else. So teams understand you don't want to be the Niners and figure out that you don't have any quarterbacks left. So it's always a good thing to have a good backup quarterback.
Just for our comment's sake, you said two teams. What's the other team besides the Eagles?
I think the Seattle Seahawks, and it would hurt for me to see him go to Seattle. But I think I could see, I think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors from the Seahawks right now, talking about how they're interested in a quarterback at the top of the draft. I think they're kind of just trying to make teams a little antsy about what they're going to do. Okay. I think they really like Geno, and I think there's some guys they could draft and have behind Geno, and maybe be the guy later, or you end up getting some. I don't think they have to have a top guy there. So those are two teams in particular that I really think would work well. And I mean, it was always talked about at the bowl game that the Patriots were totally interested in DTR too. Belichick could not say enough about DTR as a competitor.
He could have snagged Lamar, so I don't know how much I believe that.
Right? Yeah. That's a whole other conversation. But for me, I think the Rams probably end up getting like a Jake Haener from Fresno State. Maybe they're in on Hendon Hooker, but I think maybe everyone's favorite 33-year-old national championship quarterback, Stetson Bennett.
Yes, sir. That's G's favorite quarterback in the class.
He's a guy like they're like, okay, you got to get a backup quarterback. That could be the type of guy they go get. And then if you're looking for a UCLA guy, maybe Charbonnet is the type of player they end up getting.
Dude. I think he's going to be – whatever team gets Charbonnet is going to be very happy. Because I think he's a little bit undervalued how talented he is at the running back position.
Yeah, so that'd be what I would have to say.
He's special, man. He's special.
Whatever. But no, I think that he definitely could be as great value to teams, and all those guys that you mentioned are great options. But yeah, excited for the possibilities here in LA. Love where things could go with this Rams squad, because they could fight and end up being in playoff contention, be a serious threat. They could fall a little bit, and if so, we understand what the situation is, and see that we could go into a great rebuild with some great options. Not here, but here.
If you can see my name, since I did see that. We all got names. Dante Moore equals the future. If the question is the Rams' next quarterback already in LA, maybe it's the true freshman quarterback that is now stepping on campus for the UCLA Bruins. If that's the window, they can end up getting a guy.
He's got the Raven Simone vision with that one. He's seeing it.
Whatever. But, again, just great possibilities here. Excited for it all. There's been talks about Odell again. We can talk about that another day. And just them continue to retool this offseason, and excited for what's coming with the Rams and Chargers too. We didn't talk a whole lot about them, but Chargers have actually things going on their side too that we talk about another day. But yeah, fun stuff here in the NFL. Excited for the draft. Excited for things to continue, and they're excited for guys to get back on the field. There's been some XFL stuff going on. I don't know if y'all tuned in, but it satisfied my need for football, at least for the little while right now. But definitely looking forward to the NFL when it returns. So good stuff here. This is episode 204, I believe, this week here with Jake. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back shortly to talk about MLB. Things going on with our Dodgers. Excited to talk about them as the season gets underway. So appreciate y'all for this one. We'll be back shortly. And yeah, we out here again, y'all. Peace.
Deuces.